Hello friends, we have finished 2 units of thermal engineering. Now let's start our third unit, that is steam and steam boilers. Okay, different processes you have gone through from previous 2 units. Now let's study about steam. Okay, what is steam? The vapor form of water. Okay, that we have to see different diagrams, PV, TS, HS diagrams of this steam, and keep in mind that this unit is very important for engineering also, so be prepared for this very well. Okay, let's see what are the application of steam in steam turbine for generation of electricity in power plant. Okay, in power plant engineering, this you will encounter with this steam again. Okay, for propulsion as driving force in steam turbine. Okay, in steam turbine to produce electricity, steam is used. Food process industries, then steam for humidification in air conditioning, in distillation of tower to separate and purify process, for cleaning the boiler furnace while using soot blower to remove combustion deposits. Okay, for all this purpose actually the steam is used. Okay, how the generation of steam is takes place? By the way, it is used or the boiler is used to generate the steam. Okay, but the steam quality is determined by some factors that we are specially going to study in this steam and steam boilers. Okay, the steam boiler is again I have told you that in third year you will have to study this steam boiler again. Okay, let's start with this. Water, what is the generation of steam at constant pressure? Let's see that. You will have to study the device called as boiler, in which you will produce the steam at constant pressure. Okay, water, which is one of the pure substance, exists in the three phases: solid is ice, liquid is water, and gas is steam. It is assumed that the temperature of ice before start heating is below 0 degrees Celsius, say minus 5 degrees Celsius, and pressure is atmospheric. As heat is added, the temperature of ice increases up to 0 degrees Celsius. During the no change of phase takes place, but only temperature change in sense by thermometer is known as sensible heat. Okay, by the way, we are discussing about this diagram. Okay, just watch this diagram or draw it by sideway, or take it down on your notebook. Okay, so we will discuss about this diagram: A to B, B to C. A to B is solid state, then B to C is solid plus liquid, then C to D is total liquid, then D to E is liquid plus vapor, and beyond that E you will only see vapor phase of that water. Okay, so see this diagram. We will discuss all these phases through which this steam actually goes, or this water actually goes. Okay, let's see that. It is assumed that, okay, let's see okay, for this diagram, let's assume that we are, or we have taken the water at, let it be at minus 5 degrees Celsius, which will be in purely solid state. Okay, some vapor may be there because of condensation of that atmospheric water, so you may see water vapors. But at minus 10 degrees Celsius the water will be in solid state, that we call as a ice. Okay, Then let's consider we have started heating that water. What will happen? The temperature will go on increasing. But think one thing, that though the temperature is increasing up to 0 degrees Celsius, you will see the form of or the state of that water is still solid. Okay, that means you have heated the water. Okay, you have started heating the water. The temperature of the water will increase, that is -10, -9, -8 and so on. It will come up to 0 degrees Celsius, and even at 0 degrees Celsius you will find that the water is in solid state. Okay, you have given the heat which is absorbed by the gas, which result in increase in temperature, but the state of the substance remains same, that is ice. Okay, then that means the heat you have given, which is only used for rising temperature, not change in state, that heat is called as sensible heat. Okay, got this thing? So you have started heating that ice which was at -10 degrees Celsius. It is not converted into foam, but the temperature of that ice has got up to 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, that means you have given the heat, that's why the temperature is increasing, but form do not, or that state of substance do not changing. Therefore the heat absorbed is only used for raising temperature, not for changing state. That heat is called as the sensible heat. Okay, now from point B you will see that, okay, you are still, your gas is on. I will say the gas is still you are on. Now what happened over here? The temperature first from -10 to 0, what happened? The temperature goes on increasing, but the form remains ice. But now from point B to C, you will see that the line is horizontal. Okay, this graph is what? Temperature versus heat, or heat versus temperature, in which you will see that from point B to C you are still giving heat, but temperature is not rising. Okay, temperature is 0 degree, but the phase of or the state of that ice will change. It will come from that solid state to liquid state at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, you are giving heat, temperature is not rising, but state is changing. From A to B, what was happening? The state was not changing, but temperature was rising. That was sensible heat. But in this case you can see the changing state, but at constant temperature. Okay, therefore this heat is heading. Okay, A to B, you can see we are giving heat by rising temperature. But here what happened? B to C, the temperature of water not increasing, but the phase, that is solid to liquid, it is getting changed. Okay, that's why this heat is getting hid somewhere. Therefore this heat is called as latent heat of fusion. Okay, let's see what is given here. From point B, further addition of heat will not increase the temperature, but ice start melting. Transformation of solid phase to liquid phase up to the point C indicate ice converted into water. This is known as latent heat of fusion. Okay, latent heat of fusion. What is latent heat of fusion? The heat which will not increase the temperature, but ice start melting, but it will melt the ice. Okay, that heat is called as latent heat of fusion. Okay, then from point to C you will again see. Okay, let me draw the diagram over here. This is temperature here, and here is heat. Okay, once you will see the temperature increasing, but at this point the state is solid. Then this is 0 degree Celsius. Okay, this is 0 degree Celsius. You will see the horizontal line then, which is latent heat of fusion. That means the temperature remains same, but here is the liquid. Okay, up to point, this is B, this is C. then it will again increase up to point D. That means temperature is increasing, but water will be in still liquid form and some vapor you will see, and then again the total water will get in vapor form, totally vapor, okay, totally vapor, but still it will have some temperature, it will have 100 degrees Celsius, okay, as water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. At this 100 degrees Celsius, whole amount of water get converted into vapor, and beyond that 100 degrees Celsius the water gets superheated, okay, and all the vapor or all the liquid water will get converted into vapor and the temperature will go on rising. In this way this figure is, okay. Now from point C to D there is only increase in temperature of water but no change in phase, okay, is again the sensible heat, okay. I am telling you that there are two sensible heat and two latent heat. One is latent of fusion and another is latent heat of vaporization. Sensible heat at a solid state and sensible heat at liquid state, okay. Here you can see look at here, sensible heat, state is changing, state remains same, latent state is changing, sorry, state remains same, sensible heat, and okay, I am making some mistake I think, okay. Now temperature is increasing but state remains same, liquid, sensible, latent heat, state is changing here, liquid plus vapor, but temperature remains same, therefore it becomes again latent heat, and here from it the temperature go on rising, which is superheated steam, okay. You can see S for solid, L for liquid and V for vapor. Let's see what is further given. Now from point D to E the temperature is saturated temperature, which is 100 degrees Celsius of water. At this point you will see at 0 degrees Celsius whole air will get totally converted into liquid. Now at this phase or at this point D to E, what will happen? The total liquid present in that container will get converted into vapor at 100 degrees Celsius, okay. This is what DE phase shows. Then beyond that E, the steam will get superheated, and okay, from point E to F addition of heat will increase the temperature of steam, known as superheating. Defined a definite amount of heat added above saturation temperature, okay. How this, okay, this is this diagram was, this is heat added versus temperature diagram. More we have to see. Here we have another diagram on which this behavior of water we have to show. One more thing I forgot to tell you, this experiment, okay, or to for drawing this diagram we have taken ice in the container at atmospheric temperature, at atmospheric pressure, okay. This experiment was performed at atmospheric pressure, okay, because something change you will observe with change in pressure, so that's why I told you this. Now here entropy versus temperature, okay. All these things, all this concept, entropy, enthalpy, heat, all this concept you I have told you or teach you in previous lecture, so these are not new for you. So this is a temperature versus entropy chart. You can see here, here you see saturated water line here, up to this saturated water, and here this is saturated vapor. That means at this line total liquid phase is here, and from this total it is vapor. At this first part it is total water, at this point, and on all this point total water is in vapor phase. Okay, now you can see the temperature versus entropy diagram. Draw it on the page on your notebook, so that you will be able to see the diagram while we discuss it. Okay, write all the region properly. What is SF, what is SFG, what is SUP, entropy of superheat. Okay, let's move to further. The values of entropy of steam may be obtained by using TS diagram. The TS chart shows temperature on y-axis and entropy on abscissa, that is x-axis. This chart is convenient to find the graphical solution of the properties. Okay, so you must know how to read all these charts. Okay, because this will be very useful to solve the numericals on this chapter. Without knowing this, how to solve this or how to read these charts, you are not able to solve any of the problems from this unit. Okay, so be prepared, and for solving these problems you must know or how to read these charts. The chart is convenient to find the graphical solution concerned with the properties of the steam. Critical point is the point we will see that where all these three phases of the liquid present: liquid, vapor and solid. That is called as critical point. Here you can see that entropy versus temperature diagram. For the water at atmospheric or temperature may be different. Okay, these are the temperature, pressure. These are different pressure lines, dryness fraction lines. These are the dryness fraction lines. Okay, we will see what is dryness fraction or all these things. Let me show. These are dryness fraction lines. Dryness fraction. Okay, these are all reaching to the critical point. All these are what the dryness are pressure line. Okay, at different, that means you are studying in this chart four, or you can observe in this chart four properties of the steam. Okay, four properties: temperature, pressure, dryness fraction, which is represented by X, and entropy. Okay, so when in the problem you have given all these four properties or three of them, you can know from this chart. Okay, so let's move further. The simplified diagram is shown over here. You can see here. The latent heat of vaporization becomes zero at point K. That is called as critical point. Then at this point the vapor and liquid phase merge. Then the line passing through the point EFC, you can see EFC acts as a boundary between wet and superheat steam. Okay, this line, boundary, okay, between wet and superheated steam. The process HI, okay, the process HI, this process, latent heat is absorbed over here, presents the change of state from liquids to steam. The heat absorbed during this stage shown by HI, known as latent heat of vaporization. Okay, this horizontal line shows latent heat of vaporization at different pressure. The line HI has maximum value of pressure. Okay, that means it shows maximum pressure. As pressure increases, the latent heat of goes on decreasing. Okay, that this much heat is required only when pressure increases. If pressure is decreased, this much heat, that means lot amount of heat is required at less pressure. That's why you will get steam in the pressure cooker easily. At low pressure, sorry, at high pressure and at low temperature, you will get the steam in pressure cooker. Okay, in the pressure, what happen in pressure cooker? Pressure goes on increasing. That's why the phase of water will get immediately changed. That means we need very less heat to vaporize the water. Okay, these are the things to be consider or to be memorized from this figure, or you have to keep in mind all these things. Now next chart we are going to discuss is enthalpy versus entropy. Okay, H versus S, or HS diagram, which is also called as Molière chart, which is very useful, very useful for solving these problems. Okay, this is the graph plotted between enthalpy, that is total heat as ordinate, and entropy on abscissa, which gives the values of properties of steam during process. The portion of the chart below the dry saturated line is the wet steam area, while the area above the line represents the superheated steam. The constant pressure line are plotted over full chart are straight line is wet region and curved line in superheated region. Constant rarefaction lines are plotted in wet area. Find constant pressure line in superheated region. Isotropic expansion or compression is shown by a vertical line of HS chart. Throttling process will be represented by a horizontal line on HS chart. Enthalpy remain constant during this process. Okay, which process to be represented by which line is given over here. So you can see over here diagram, sorry, dryness fraction. Different dryness fraction are given. Temperature lines are also here, pressure lines. It shows constant enthalpy line, horizontal line. Vertical line shows constant entropy lines. Okay, this vertical line shows constant entropy, horizontal constant enthalpy. Then this you can see there, this temperature, constant temperature lines. These are constant pressure line. Okay, all these lines are given. Then quality, that means dryness fractions, are also shown in that figure. The final condition after isentropic expansion may be directly obtained from the chart. Similarly, enthalpy drop can be measured from the chart on reading that values. Okay, next chart is pH chart. Okay, next diagram is pH, that is pressure versus enthalpy chart. You can see in the figure or on the screen shown. The pressure is on y-axis and enthalpy is shown in on x-axis. You can see saturated liquid line, saturated vapor line. This is wet region, that means here liquid plus you will see a vapor sum. Here all this superheated region, that means full only you will see only vapor, and at this critical point you will see all the three phases. Okay, here this is cooled region, subcooled region called. Okay, that means you will find solid and liquid phase in that region. Okay, in this way this pressure enthalpy diagram is shown. The saturated pressure and temperature. The temperature at which water start boiling depend upon pressure. Therefore, if pressure is fixed, so is the boiling temperature. Therefore, for specific pressure, boiling temperature is specific. At a given pressure temperature at which the water changes phase, is called saturation. temperature. Likewise, at a given temperature, the pressure at which the water changes phase is called as saturation pressure. Now, critical point. The point at which the saturated liquid and saturated vapor state are identical. The temperature and pressure and specific volume of a substance at the critical point are called critical temperature, critical pressure, and critical specific volume. Okay, so today we will stop here and discuss further topic in next lecture. So before attending next lecture, be prepared for all these things that we have discussed in today's lecture. Okay, thank you.